السلام عليكم ورحمة الله إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله تعالى فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله تعالى وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. My dear little children, tonight is the night of the 11th of Rabi-uth-Thani, 1444 years after the Hijrah, or the migration of our beloved Prophet ﷺ, which coincides with November 5th, 2022. Today we continue our discussion with regards to the kindness to creation series, and today will be the story of the thirsty dog and the woman from Bani Israel. The woman from Bani Israel. We hear this term Bani Israel a lot. So what does it mean by Bani Israel? Bani means children, and Israel is the name of one of the individuals that's mentioned in the Quran. Now, who was Israel? There is a dispute amongst the ulama. There is nothing in the Quran or any authentic hadith which exactly tells us who Israel was. Some of the ulama, they believe that Israel was Ishaq alayhi salam. Ishaq was the son of Ibrahim, and some of them they believe Israel was Yaqub alayhi salam. But there is no authentic report to say whether it was Ishaq or Yaqub or it was some other children from the children of Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam or not. Or maybe he was another prophet, Allahu alam. But Bani Israel are the children of Israel. This is very clear. And Israel is the individual as mentioned in the Quran about the one who made something haram upon himself, as Allah mentions, and we don't want to go into the details of their story. But these are the means by children of Israel. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in many places has mentioned that He has honored the children of Israel. He has honored the children of Israel, and of course Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent a huge number of prophets and messengers to guide them to Al-Islam, and it is known that many of them were good people, and of course many of them were unrighteous tricksters. They used to play games with the religion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and this story is a lot in the Quran. This specific story is mentioning about a woman who was involved in immoral activities, a woman who was baghi. She was involved in immoral activities, and how she attained the forgiveness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and she was from the children of Israel. But before we go to the story of this lady and the dog, and the story very small and simple, but it's lot of goodness in this story, lot of beneficial points to discuss in this story. But before we go there, about dogs we have a lot of questions. In some of the cultures, the dogs are treated as devil, and dogs are treated as disgusting animal, and dogs are mistreated, kicked, and so on and so forth. All of these mistreatment and hatred towards the dog is not allowed in Islam. Okay, but where does it come from? Because some people, they hear certain things, but they do not learn the full context of this, and that's why this confusion and misunderstanding spread. So we're going to talk about certain things. Of course, we cannot go into details of explaining why this opinion, why that opinion, but I'm just going to answer or give you the most correct opinion with regards to this question. First of all, there is a general question that a lot of Muslims ask: are the dogs shaytan? Are the dogs devil? Okay, and the answer is there is nothing authentic to say that the dogs are devil. However, there are authentic hadith of the Prophet ﷺ which talks about certain dogs, black dog with a certain characteristics. Those are the only dogs the Prophet ﷺ said there's a shaytan. That is a shaytan. Now, the ulama, they differ as with regards to what does this mean. And one of the great scholars in our time, Shaykh Ibn Uthaymeen, explained that this means actually, when the Prophet ﷺ said it is a shaytan, it's shaytan from the dogs, not a jinn, which is take the form of a dog. No. Because there's also this misunderstanding. When they see a black dog, they think it's a jinn and it's a devil. No, it's not. It could be one of those dogs which the Prophet ﷺ said, shaitan from the dogs, meaning an evil one from the dogs. Okay, this is most likely the correct position with regards to the authentic hadith talking about the black dog as being a shaytan. Is it true that the Prophet ﷺ ordered the dogs to be killed? At one point, yes. At one point in Medina, the Prophet ﷺ did issue the command. Now, when we know that the Prophet ﷺ said something and it's a matter of the religion, وَمَا يَنْتِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَىٰ, he doesn't speak from his desires, from Allah. But then it was abrogated, meaning this ruling was no longer applicable. So dogs were allowed to be left alone. The training dogs, those dogs who are, used for hunting, those dogs which were, used for guarding and so on and so forth, they were allowed to. So basically that ruling of killing the dogs was abrogated. The other question, which is also very, very common, are dogs impure? Because where there is an authentic hadith of the Prophet ﷺ that if the dog licks one of your pots, then wash it 7 times. And the first time with the dust. First time with the turab, the dust. Okay? And the correct position with regards to this hadith is that this is from the karaha, disliking that the dog lick. So the Prophet ﷺ commanded this to be done to that pot, and this is a command from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But this does not mean that the dog is impure or the saliva is impure or the far is impure. There are some ulama, they consider that the saliva is impure, and there are some of them, they consider the whole dog is impure. I have a separate discussion in one of my other channel with regards to is dog saliva or the dog impure or not, and inshallah you can go and study that or listen to that inshallah ta'ala. But this is the gist. Dog is not impure, inshallah, and the saliva is not impure. However, if they lick the pot, then you are supposed to wash the pot. What if they lick our body? There is no problem. We don't have to do anything. What if they touch our body? There is nothing we have to do. If somebody doesn't like and he wants to clean himself, he thinks he doesn't like this, that's another issue. But is there any requirement in the religion? No requirement. And that looks to be the most correct opinion. Can the dogs be kept as pet? This is another very favorite questions lot of young children they ask. Can we keep dogs as pet? Dogs are so kind. Dogs are so friendly. Dogs are the friends of the human. These are statements are there, and dogs are very, loving creatures. They love to be pet. They love to be with you. They love to go places with you, and so on and so forth. Can we keep them as pets? No, we cannot. This is haram. This is prohibited. Why? Because the Prophet said so. However, we can keep dogs for other purposes, like if it is a training dog or if it is a dog which is used for any kind of service, yes, this dog can be kept in the home or outside, doesn't matter, because this is not kept as a pet. As long as it is not a pet, a petting dog, then it is allowed to be kept, like guarding dog, like therapy dogs. There are so many service dogs. So we use the word service to mean anything the dog is used for except petting. So that is the only. So somebody would ask, why not? If I can keep a dog for guarding my house, why can't I keep it for pet? This is because the Prophet said so, and it is from Allah. And when Allah decrees something for us, we have to listen to it. For example, I can give you another similar example, gold. The metal gold, we can buy it, we can sell it, we can own it, we can keep it at home. Okay? We can wear it. Only the women can wear it. The men cannot wear it. The men cannot use it for jewelries. Why? What is the problem with the gold? Because Allah said so. Similarly, dogs are good. Dogs are nice. Dogs are friends. But we cannot keep dogs as pet. Why? Because Allah said so. And we do not go and question this, because Allah is the most wise. And He is the one who created dogs, and He is the one who gave the characteristics of the dogs that we like. So instead of, listening to Allah, we should not listen to our own desires and keep dogs as pets. A lot of people, they do this and they fall into haram, prohibition. Also, there is a prohibition with regards to selling and buying dogs. So the prohibition is only limited to the petting dogs. As for training dogs or service dogs, yes, we can buy them, we can sell them, we can train them, we can host them, and all of this is permissible as long as it is for the training purpose, not something for the petting. For example, somebody gets a dog, a guard dog, but there is no need for his house to be guarded. He wants to keep a pet. So he says, let me just use this guard dog. You cannot do that. You cannot keep a dog for petting purpose. As a pet, you cannot keep. But yes, if there is a need for guarding your house, if there is a need for other services, of course, permissible, insha'Allah ta'ala. So now, alhamdulillah, I think you get a general picture of what is permissible, what is not permissible, insha'Allah ta'ala. When we keep the religion, as the Prophet says, huwa ismatu amrina, as the principle or the main capital of our life, then understanding these things is not a problem. A lot of people, they get into these arguments. They want something. I want this, and they know it is haram, and they try to justify it by using, why not? Many people do it. Most of my friends do it. What's the problem? If I don't do it, I'll be losing out on a lot of things. This kind of arguments they use to get the haram. You can justify many things and make the haram halal, but one day you have to remember, you have to go back to Allah. What you gonna do then? When Allah will ask you, why did you keep a dog as pet? When I, the Lord of the dogs and Lord of the pets, told you cannot do that. What are you gonna answer to him? I like dogs. Allah also loves dogs. This is why He created them, and He doesn't want anybody to mistreat dogs. He hates if somebody mistreats dogs. So we cannot make this kind of argument when it comes to religion. Religion, remember something, it is sami'na wa ta'na. I hear the revelation and I obey, even if I don't like it. Even if I have a problem with it, I will say, no, it's from Allah, I submit to it. This is called religion. This is called submitting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now let's go to the story of this great lady whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive for her kindness. This hadith is reported by Imam Bukhari and Imam Muslim, and these are the two great scholars of hadith who collected the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, and their books are the most authentic book after Quran al-Karim. A hadith which is reported in Bukhari and Muslim by the same Sahabi, and in this case it is Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu. This hadith is called, in general term, muttafaqun alayhi, agreed upon, meaning these are the most authentic hadith that you can just close your eyes, you know that this is from the Prophet ﷺ. Okay, so this hadith on the authority of Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, he said, and in Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, on the authority of the Prophet ﷺ, anna imra'atan baghiyan, a immoral woman, ra'at kalban fi yawmin harrin yutifu bi bi'rin qad adla'a lisanahu min al-'atashi fanaza'at lahu bi muqiha faghufira laha. So a woman, a immoral woman, she saw a dog on a very hot day. It was moving around, going round and round a well, and he was sticking out his tongue like the dogs do, sticking out his tongue because of the atash, because of the thirst. So she took her shoe and she took some water out from the well and she gave it to the dog, and because of this, faghufira laha, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgave her for her sins. Okay, this is the wording of Imam Muslim. Imam Bukhari rahimahullah ta'ala, his narration and the book of beginning of creation, same hadith and same Sahabi, he said, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, on the authority of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, غفر لامرأة مومسة مرت بكلب على رأس ركي يلهث. A woman, an immoral woman, a woman who was involved in immoral action, she was forgiven because she passed by a dog which was panting around near a well, meaning out of thirst. قال كاد يقتله العطش. The thirst was going to kill this dog. فنزعت خفها. So she took her khuf, her shoe or socks, whatever she had, فأوثقته بخمارها, and she tied her shoe with her khimar. With her khimar is basically what you cover your head with, the head veil, okay, or the scarf. فَنَزَعَتْ لَهُ مِنَ الْمَاءِ, and she basically took some water for the dog with that, with the shoe, with the help of the shoe and with the help of her scarf. فَغُفِرَ لَهَا بِذَلِكَ, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgave her for that. Now the question comes is, this woman was a very bad woman. Does it mean that only the kindness of showing to this animal did her, this great, she attained this great reward of being forgiven? So whenever we have this hadith, remember in the last hadith we talked about that man. A man who went by, same Sahabi narrated the story, a man went by a thirsty dog and fed the dog the water. He went inside the well, took the water out, came out and gave the water, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgave him, and that narration says, وَأَدْخَلَهُ الْجَنَّةِ, Allah entered him into paradise. The hadith doesn't say she was a Muslim or not Muslim. He was a Muslim or not Muslim. Doesn't say that. But we have to understand that when such hadith comes to us, it is giving us a glimpse of a certain action. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgives a person and enters him to paradise, or in this case forgave her, which means what? She must be a Muslim. Because without Islam, no good deed will be accepted. We know that if there is no Islam, there is no faith, true faith in the religion of Allah, even if the person supports a prophet of Allah, Allah will not forgive him. And the famous example is Abu Talib, the Prophet's uncle Abu Talib. This man was a very noble man, from a noble family, Banu Quraysh, from the children of Ismail, alayhi salam. And he supported the Prophet when everybody was fighting with him. And he knew that he is a messenger of Allah, but he did not accept the religion. So he did lot of good deeds. One of the best deeds is to support Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If I say, which one is better, supporting Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam or feeding water to a dog? Both are good deeds, but supporting Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is high level. But yet that did not grant him the forgiveness from Allah. It would if he had accepted Islam. So when the hadith comes like this, we do not say, oh, Islam doesn't matter. As long as you're kind to the creation of Allah, Allah will forgive you. No. That is a very devilish understanding of this hadith, or the Iblisi understanding of this hadith. Correct understanding is, we know from the context this woman must be. That's why Imam Bukhari, when he reported this hadith, in one of the book he reported Kitab al-Anbiya, the book of the prophets. So he's giving an indication that this woman was a follower of a prophet. Which prophet? A prophet from Bani Israel. Because Bani Israel had many prophets. Musa was the prophet of Bani Israel. Isa was a prophet of Bani Israel. Zakaria, Dawood, Sulaiman. Many prophets and messengers were sent to Bani Israel, including Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is a prophet of Bani Israel too, sent to Bani Israel. He was not from necessarily Bani Israel, because he was from the lineage of Ismail. He was not from the lineage of Ishaq, but he was sent to Bani Israel because he was sent to the whole mankind. So that he was sent to the Jews, he was sent to the Christians, he was sent to the Hindus, he was sent to all pagans of all time until the day of judgment. Okay, so many prophets and messengers. That's why Imam al-Bukhari, when he put it Kitab al-Anbiya. Although in this story there is no Anbiya mentioned except a woman from Bani Israel. And as I mentioned to you in the beginning, Israel could be one of those prophets, Ishaq or Yaqub, and it could be maybe another prophet from the prophets of Bani Israel, or it could be another noble man from the children of Israel, from the children of Ishaq, alayhi salam, from the lineage of Sayyidina Ibrahim sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So this hadith is a great reminder for all of us about the topic that we are discussing, the kindness to the creation. We have to be kind and merciful to all the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But this definition of kindness, we learn it from the Quran and the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Because somebody can come and say, I do not eat chicken, and we have discussed this before, I do not eat meat because I hate slaughtering animals because it doesn't show kindness to creation. This kind of kindness we do not follow. We eat chicken, we eat beef, we eat meat by slaughtering the animals in the name of Allah, because the most merciful one, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, has allowed us to slaughter those animals and eat. So we do not create our own definition of kindness. We learn the definition of kindness from the book of Allah and the Sunnah of the Prophet Sallallaahu alaihi wasallam, so we can grow up as balanced Muslims. And this is what we are trying to learn, our responsibilities to the creation of other creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, first and foremost of course towards the mankind, and first and foremost of course towards the best of the mankind, the prophets and the messengers. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.